Hi, class of 2021, welcome. We are going to go over a few things about the college process. This year, we will be holding a virtual college fair on September 23rd. Please look for the upcoming information regarding online signups. Those will begin September 9th. We will also be having college admission representatives starting September 21st. You may sign up for each individual visit through the College tab on Naviance. You can see all the different colleges that are listed and what date and time they will be online. Registering is easy. Once you decide on which college you would like to visit, please click on the register button at the top right on Naviance. So let's go over some student responsibilities. As seniors, things that you are going to want to do are make sure you release your college scores directly to the colleges through the College Board and the ACT. Those are things that we do not do as counselors. You must do that yourself. You also need to complete your counselor's recommendation if you haven't done so already. We do need those in order to write a recommendation for you. Please make sure, if you have not done so already, to log into your personal Naviance account. You're going to be doing a lot of college application work through this account. Also, ask your teachers to write a letter of recommendation. We did talk about this last year, but we also want to make sure that's been done. This is just a quick copy of the counselor recommendation questionnaire. It's located on the guidance website. So a quick review, did you hand in your counselor recommendation questionnaire? Do you have your teacher recommendation form? We're going to work on the Common App procedures. Do you know your Naviance username and password? And do you need to sign up with the NCAA Eligibility Center?
Okay, now we're going to talk about the Common App. We suggest that all students fill out and create a Common App account. The vast majority of colleges that you will be applying to will accept the Common App. Not all, but most. And it's kind of a one-stop shop. So if you fill this out and you do all Common App schools, you will only have to do this once. So if you look at the screen, you will see in the top left corner, there's all the school information that you will need to input. North Hunterdon, address, our CEEB code, all that stuff is right there. The date of entry into North Hunterdon, is it a boarding school, so on and so forth. You can see the progression of questions. Obviously, you put your counselor in the fields on the right where it says counselor name, all that stuff. Okay, so that is for the start of the Common App application. This is a continuation of the education piece, which we started in the last section. On this page, you will see two very important pieces of information. For North Hunterdon students, you will see that your class size is 373. That is the number you should put in that box. For our biomedical students that are a part of the Hunterdon County Polytech Vocational School, you will put 56 in that box, and then continue to answer all the questions on that page.
Next, you're going to want to list all the classes that you're taking in your senior schedule. You're going to want to put more than 2 down. This is just a sample for you. And what we want to make sure you do add is that it's semester scheduling that we do here. So click on the semester button first. Then there's room to put all of your classes. An example here, English 4. If it's an honors class, it'll ask for what type. You'll mark that off, and whether it's a full year or semester class. We have examples here of full year and semester. So just add all the classes that you have there. Here you'll want to just list any type of honor societies that you've been a part of or any other honors that you've received throughout your 4 years here at North. If you had any assistance with your college application process and did not get charged for it, please indicate it here.
In this section, we will talk about FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, and how that relates to your recommendations. Please be sure to read these instructions carefully. It's important that you understand what your rights are in terms of your recommendations. At the end of that, you will see the box that says, I have read and understand the FERPA release authorization explanation above. If you do not click that box, you cannot continue. On this page, you are required to choose between two options. One option says, I waive my right to review all recommendations and supporting documents, and the other is, I do not waive my right to review all recommendations and supporting documents. In the vast majority of cases, students will select, I waive my right to review. The reason being is you are asking people to write you a recommendation. By marking I do not waive, that may make them feel uncomfortable to write the recommendation. As well as on the institution side, it may bring into question why this student is not willing to waive their right. So the choice is yours. You can choose either one, but you do have to select one of them in order to move forward. Also at the bottom of that, you will see a box. You must check that states, I understand that my waiver or no waiver selection above pertains to all colleges to which I apply. Then you will put your name in there under signature and the date in which you are filling out your application. This is what the FERPA form should look like once you click each appropriate box. Again, be sure to type in your name as your signature and date the form.
Now that you have completed the educational portion of the Common Application, you need to log into your Naviance account. This is in order for you to link both the Common Application to the Naviance account. It allows us to submit your transcripts and your documents to the colleges electronically. Continue with the single sign-on and make sure you choose your correct account. Once you have logged into Naviance, you will see a pink box at the top of your screen. This will enable you to match the accounts. If you do not see that pink box, that means that the FERPA was not filled out properly and you'll need to go back. The next step in matching the accounts is entering your Common App email address. Make sure it is the email address you are using for Common App and your date of birth. Once you hit match accounts, they will be matched up. Now, keep in mind, once you do match the accounts, your FERPA status can no longer be changed and you cannot unmatch your account.
Now let's look at the Naviance program and how that program can help you through the college search process. Hopefully, you've been using Naviance over the last few years to help navigate through this process. As you begin to choose your colleges, you should put them in 3 different categories: reach colleges, target colleges, and foundation colleges. In order to do so, you would look at your GPA and standardized test scores if you have them, and compare that with the historical data that we have in Naviance for past NHHS students. As you go through this process, you can save colleges to the colleges I'm thinking about list. In order to do so, click on the Colleges tab, and then click on the tab that says Add Colleges to List. By doing so, you can keep a running tally of all the schools that you have found that you are considering applying to. Let's look at the scattergram tab that you have at your disposal in your Naviance program. This is a very useful tool for students to use in order to classify schools as target, reach, or foundation schools. Here's a screenshot of a scattergram for a college. As you will see, there are many different colors and shapes on this scattergram. As you look at this, this should give you a good indication of where you fall in relation to other students that have applied to that school over the last 10 years. You can use this as a tool to classify whether or not this school would be a reach, a target, or a foundation school for you. When you see green, that means former students from North Hunterdon that have applied and been accepted. Okay. Underneath, you will see the legend that tells you what each mark and color represent, and then you could look at your GPA and your standardized test scores, see where you fall, and see how former students have fared, therefore getting an indication of whether or not, again, it would be a reach, target, or foundation school.
Let's review the steps when you're requesting teacher recommendations. First, make sure you ask the teacher before you request in Naviance for them to write a recommendation. You want to make sure it's personalized, although with the virtual learning now, you might need to request it through email. Review the steps. For those of you who have not requested the teacher recommendation through Naviance, you will need to go to the Colleges tab, go down under Apply to Colleges, and click on Letters of Recommendation. Next, you will see the Add Request button. Once you click the box, you will see a pull-down screen for selecting the teacher you would like to write your recommendation. Please click on that, and then below you will write a little note to your teacher. Keep in mind, if you would like your counselor to write a recommendation, you do not have to fill this out. Fill out your transcript release form and check the box off for counselor recommendation, and then we will write that. In addition, under number 2, you will see select which colleges this request is for. Please make sure you check off all current and future colleges I add to my colleges I'm applying to list. This is very important because we will not be able to send the recommendations to certain colleges if you only click choose specific colleges. If you choose to go on a college visit, you will receive an excused absence if you provide a note from the college to the attendance office verifying your visit. Please make a copy of the note, though, before you hand it into attendance. We would also like that you fill out a college visitation form, and those can be found online on the guidance webpage.
Let's take a look at the transcript release forms. This might be the most important form of all for you as students, because until this is filled out, the college process does not begin on our end. In order for us to know that you're applying to a college, you need to fill out one of these forms. You need to put your name on it, your ID, and then you need to mark all the appropriate boxes, fill in the appropriate college name, let us know the deadline, and you need to sign if you're 18. If you are not 18, you must have a parent's signature. We cannot release your records without either a parent's signature if you're under the age of 18 or your signature if you're 18 or over. If you look at the top, you see a bunch of little boxes. Those need to be marked appropriately. Whether or not you need a counselor recommendation. If you would like one, you need to check that. Whether or not you're applying early decision or early action. Whether you're using the Common App or eDocs, Naviance eDocs. Maybe the school wants a hard copy, so it needs to be mailed. If it does need to be mailed, you need to provide an envelope with a stamp on it. Your teacher recommendations on the far right. If you are having teacher recommendations, you must have the teachers initial those boxes that they have uploaded your recommendation to Naviance before you turn in this form. Please allow for 10 business days for this to be processed. Very important that you give us enough time to process this. So if I have a deadline of October 1st, do not show up on September 30th and expect us to get out on time. You need to give us 10 business days, take into consideration holidays, and whether or not that falls into the time frame. But we will do our best to get these all out in the timely fashion.
Some colleges may require marking period grades. If they do, you will need to fill out a marking period grade request form. This is also located on the guidance website. You would want to give us this form and we will automatically then send those grades to the school.
For any athlete that has expectations to play at the Division I or Division II level, you must register for the NCAA Eligibility Center if you have not done so. You can click on the link right there. It will take you to the Eligibility Center where you can create an account and register. If you do have questions of whether or not you have met the academic requirements, you certainly can stop down to guidance and speak to your counselor to see if you meet academic requirements for Division I and II athletics. Also, the link there, if you have any questions or concerns, you can look at the NCAA overview in PowerPoint that will be able to answer most of your questions pertaining to college athletics. And remember, when in doubt,
please reach out to us or check the guidance website